First of all, I applaud the City Council members, less Ms. Pauley, for allowing us to come and share our genuine concerns to you. I also like to acknowledge the fact that what Ms. Pauley did and said is not reflective of either of four of you or of the great people of City of Villa Park. We applaud you, we love you, we respect you. For Ms. Pauley, my request to you and my appeal to you as a man of faith, to a sister of faith that I believe in, without which my faith is incomplete. We ask of you only one thing. We all make mistakes. We all do. I did in my life. And you did too. All you have to do is, I offer my apology, end of story, and we will celebrate you. But if you defy, then know that the best of America that's outside, perhaps remember always that you brought nothing but divisiveness, hate, anger against a people who also believe in Christianity and Judaism and its prophets and its books.
They operate by instilling fear. Our Creator, the same Creator referenced in our Declaration of Independence, tells us repeatedly in the Holy Scriptures to fear not. But I have been afraid to speak up because they want you to be afraid. They want you to be afraid of them. They want you to be afraid of being called intolerant.
But if you defy, then know that the best of America that's outside chanting slogans against you,
with intimidation, oppression, threats of violence, rumors of violence, well-publicized beheadings. Us who know what's going on have been cowed into silence out of fear.
Will perhaps remember always that you brought nothing but divisiveness, hate, anger.
They are baiting us, and they are daring us to challenge them and to call them out for what they are doing.
These times will pass, but there will be a day when you and I will stand
3 minutes,
in front of
Mr.
our
Mayor.
Creator.
In addition to that, Shaquille waved his finger in our face and said, we have freedom of speech, we have every right to be here, whether we're citizens or not.
They operate by instilling fear.
And I ask of you to kneel down and pray to God Almighty who created you and who created I, to ask for forgiveness, let alone what happened on February 21st, let alone what is happening today.
Your statements referring to Muslims as terrorists was irresponsible and disrespectful.
They would be condemning these terrorist instigators instead of inviting them to be their keynote speakers.
Community Center, 2 imams who are members of Muslim Brotherhood. Ultimate goal is to reestablish Islamic Caliphate and implement Sharia law in the West, including the United States of America.
An even greater challenge. Now, I'm going to just quote some of the comments that Imam Siraj Wahaj have made in the past. He says, this so-called democracy will crumble, and there will be nothing. And the only thing that will remain will be Islam. Well, I think our reservists and I think our veterans will have something to say about that.
Matter of fact, I know quite a few Marines who will be very happy to help these terrorists to an early meeting in paradise.
Great. My understanding of what she said, she was referring to 2 people, called them terrorists, and said she has 2 sons who can send them to paradise.
But it's not acceptable to then turn their opposition into a shameful and hateful attack on an entire religion.
You can practice religion or not. This one or that, we don't care. That is fine, but that is not what they believe. You will be Muslim or you won't be anymore. That is not freedom. They use our freedom of assembly against us.
When our nation's foundational values of inclusiveness, pluralism, and equality are attacked by some in favor of calls for advocating hate and violence, then all Americans have a responsibility to challenge and expose such bigotry and those who enable it.
They are using our freedom of speech against us. They are free to speak, but if we say anything about it, they claim that we are suppressing their right to free speech.
Instead of finding excuses, Councilwoman Pauley should have the integrity to take responsibility for participating in and enabling this shameful and hateful incident against peaceful families and children.
Go to subsidize the military occupation.
Guilty by association, and one is guilty because they are alleged
Muslim terrorist. She didn't say terrorist as in Jewish, Christian, atheist, or anything.
Do you agree that the protest was about those two speakers?
It started that. Maybe.
Okay, great. And do you also recognize that the official event was different than the hecklers at the end?
That's exactly what
I don't know.
Ms. Pauley, you have failed as a political leader because of the divisiveness of your city and now of this region. And the City Council bears the responsibility for this divisiveness. And I don't know what is worse. Your statement that licenses murder of anyone that wants to be deemed a terrorist, that you deem a terrorist. I don't know if you have ever been called a terrorist, Ms. Pauley. I don't know if any of you City Council members have been called a terrorist or worry about your children being called a terrorist and this dehumanization. So I don't know what is worse, your license to murder individuals you deem terrorists.
All right, excuse me.
What is worse is the vitriol I hear today, what you have licensed.
Some places like the Middle East where they have massive rallies and protests, and people don't. Please tell me, what is it that you guys want to do?
We're just against that. The lady in there said that we're terrorists, and that we're protesting that we're not terrorists.
That there's so much ignorance that means so much education.
Do you agree that the protest was about those two speakers?
It started that. Maybe.
Okay.
All you have to do is, I offer my apology, end of story, and we will celebrate.